Isn't it frustrating when you have to work with someone you don't trust? And even more frustrating, I think, is when you have to work with people who don't trust you. Well, today we're going to talk about 5 building blocks of trust, how to build it, and how to lose it. By the way, thanks for joining us today. I'm Joel, and this channel is about living and leading well. Maybe you could like and subscribe and share this with others if you find it valuable. Well, here's why trust is important. See, if people trust you, they will sail to the ends of the earth with you, climb the highest mountain with you, swim the widest ocean. I'll go just about anywhere with someone I trust. I mean, trust is really the building block, the currency of relationships. We can accomplish little without trust. But when people don't trust you, in a heartbeat, they will throw you out of the boat. As a leader, your greatest responsibility, in any context, your greatest responsibility is to be trustworthy. And one of the things that can be frustrating as well is that sometimes we hope people will just kind of trust us automatically, as if trust will be the default. But it can take years to build trust. In fact, it might take 100 acts of faithfulness to finally earn someone's trust. And then with just one failure, all that work to earn trust can be gone in a minute, because trust is fragile. And so really quickly today, here are 5 building blocks of trust. And I want to give credit to my friend Phil Stevenson, who lays these out, kind of the basic points. And then I want to just talk about what they mean to me. But here we go. People might throw you off the boat if you don't exercise these 5 building blocks of trust. Number 1, competence. Competence is when you do what you say you will do. In the Bible, Jesus said, "Let your yes be yes and your no be no." In other words, that means if you say you're going to do something, do whatever it takes to get it done. People should not have to worry about whether you're going to follow through. People shouldn't feel like they have to come back and check up on you again and again, because if they feel that way, they will not trust you. Years ago, I was doing a talk with a group about how often I feel like I don't measure up to these impressive world-class leaders I'm around. I don't know about you, maybe I'm the only one who struggles with insecurity sometimes, where I'll go to these events sometimes that I get invited to, or maybe go to a conference, or hang out with friends who are big-time organizational leaders. And the organization that I lead is pretty big too, but in those environments, I just feel like I don't fit in. The way they dress, the way they talk, how courageous and good-looking and charismatic some of these people are. And so some of these leaders, when they come walking into the room, it's like everybody goes, "Wow!" And I get a little intimidated because I'm not like that. And so one time I was doing a talk with this group, and I said, here's what it feels like. Those leaders are like, by the way, I really love cars. I'm kind of a car guy. And so I said, those leaders are kind of like Lamborghinis, right? And Porsches and Ferraris. High performing. And me, I feel more like a Toyota Camry. They're like the supercars in the parking lot, and I come pulling in and I'm more of a basic family sedan. Well, afterwards, someone came up to me and said something I'll never forget. After that talk, someone came up to me and said, "Hey, Joel, remember something." They said, "Remember, Toyota Camrys have been the #1 selling vehicle in America, and here's why. Because they are reliable." They're reliable. And I'll never forget that moment. You may not be the most amazing, impressive, charismatic leader. You might not feel like a superstar, but that's not what most people are looking for. What most people need is not a supercar. What most people need is a Toyota Camry. Someone they can rely on. Someone they know they can trust. So number one, do what you say you will do. Number two is consistency. Be where you say you will be. I mean, this one's just really simple. It just means like showing up on time, right? Don't be late. Woody Allen said 80% of success is just showing up. Now, I don't necessarily take all my advice from Woody Allen, but on this one, he's right. 80% of success is just showing up. Don't be late. Be on time. Number three, conduct. Act as you expect others to act. Here's something that drives me crazy. Do you ever have the circumstance where you're driving along in the car and all of a sudden a police car comes just flying by in the passing lane? No flashing lights, no sirens, no emergency. They're just breaking the law and speeding because they can get away with it. So what do? I slide in and try to follow them and keep up. Woo! Free speeding pass. No. That's not how it works. And yet, actually, that is kind of how it works, right? In a lot of organizations, that if the leader feels like they can get away with stuff, people all across the organization start trying to get away with stuff, and integrity falls apart. Trust is lost. And here's what's even worse. Sometimes a police officer goes slower than the speed limit, and all of a sudden they're like slowing down the whole line of traffic, and everybody's afraid to pass them. Well, that's just as frustrating. But here's the point. As a leader, it is not just one set of rules for you and another set of rules for everybody else. You should not expect special treatment. Instead, we need to project what you expect. Model what you expect from others so they can follow your example. People lose trust for a leader who just says one thing and does another. Number four is credibility. Admit when you are wrong. I'm sometimes reminded that we are not as good at hiding our mistakes as we think we are. The fact is, most people already see your weaknesses. So quit pretending you're perfect as if you have all the answers. But on the other hand, when I see a leader who will get honest and admit when they are wrong, I know that is someone I can trust. And number five is confidence. Trust those you lead. If you don't trust other people, guess what? They're not going to trust you. When you give someone a job, you need to let them do it. Let them be the expert. Show them that you have confidence in them. And there's this amazing thing that happens when you trust other people. Many times they will begin to trust you. And so listen, all this stuff that we're talking about is not just about leadership. This is also about friendship. It's about marriage and teamwork. Imagine a world where everyone lived like this. If everybody would do what you say you will do, be where you say you will be, do what you expect others to do, confess and admit when you're wrong, and begin to trust. Let people know you believe in them. Isn't that what all of us want? And let me tell you, when I see a leader like that, it builds trust. It builds teamwork. I mean, that is someone I would sail with to the ends of the ocean. But without these five things, your team might just throw you overboard. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Maybe this is something you could share with others. I'd love to hear what you think in the comments, whether you agree, disagree. Maybe you have stories you can share. Maybe you can like and subscribe. Hopefully we'll make more of these videos about living and leading well. We'll see you next time.